Hello and welcome to the DRS show. Today we're going to talk about the T20 series between Bangladesh and West Indies, and we have a special guest from the West Indies. His name is Jarrod. Let's welcome him to the studio.
Hello, Hack, and hello to your viewers.
Hey, how's it going?
Going good, going good. It's 4 or just after 4 p.m. here. What time is it there on your side?
Yeah, here's 2 a.m. in the night.
Wow. Yeah, man. Well, thanks for having me and thanks for staying up waiting for me. I appreciate that.
So, this series between Bangladesh and West Indies, we know that we have won one test match and we have been whitewashed by the West Indies in the ODIs, but
Yes.
we come back well in the T20s and we have a Bangla wash from Bangladesh. And have you seen some matches or something?
I was just able to see the first one, the low scoring one. I thought we would have been able to come back in that first one, but y'all did the job with the bowling. You all really did a great job. And I think that set the tone for this series, the T20 series, and you all had it won before the other games we even played. You all really came out good in the T20 series.
I was expecting some high scoring games like the ones we have in India, but surprisingly, we had these spinning tracks and it's more suitable for Bangladesh. We can get more spin and trouble your batters.
Yeah, as I said, your bowling attack, something changed in the T20. It really just came alive, and we had no answer. And then I think all of you get into that, of course, but to me, leaving out Carty and leaving out Graves, I think that was a big mistake from our part because both of them had great form coming into this series, especially in the CPL format. So I was really surprised that they left those guys out. But I'm not sure if they would have made a huge impact based on the remarkable bowling that some of your guys put out. Of course, we have to talk about Mehdi Hassan, right? And of course the batting from Ali. So I think kudos to you all. I can't make any excuses. I'm disappointed, but I just have to say a brilliant job from Bangladesh. Really well done and congrats. It was a well deserved win.
We have to discuss about the batting order of West Indies because you are the T20 team and the best side winning T20 World Cups every time and getting better and better, playing in every leagues, whether it's the CPL or IPL or PSL or any league in the world. So what went wrong there? What do you think?
Um, I think there are a few guys I think that it's time for them to part ways. Time for them to maybe they could just help out from the bench, help out with some coaching aspects. But I think it's time for a few. Fletcher comes to mind. Charles comes to mind. I think it's time for these guys to take a break, take a rock back, and try and just maybe help in the background staff. I am happy with Brandon King. I mean, he's still trying to find his form. He was injured obviously for most of the CPL, right? When he played for Antigua Falcons, he was injured for the most part. So we still have to give him some time, but he showed some glimpses of form through the other formats. It's because if you look at the first game, there was nothing to talk about until Rockman Powell tried to put up a fight for us with his 60 runs. Until, of course, Liton Das and Mohammed combined to end that show. And then that was it. The highest scores after that would have been Johnson Charles. After that would have been Romario Shepherd. And that's terrible, right? Nothing from Ruston Chase. I mentioned nothing from Puran. And Puran, again, another player that would have been in great form, would have had a couple of centuries in the CPL for TKR. He was in great form coming in to the CPL as well too, but nothing from our big hitters or our heavy hitters. They had no answers. Again, for Mehdi Hassan, who we mentioned, and Liton Das, who was brilliant in the field in that first game. So I think the CPL would have showcased some of the young talent that is coming up, and I think we have to take a page from Bangladesh's book, from Sri Lanka's book, and put some faith in the youth, rebuild, because Bangladesh had this team for quite a while. Sri Lanka had their squads for quite a while and were getting some on up and down results because of course a youth team and they build, but they allow the youths to learn, grow, and I think it's time for us to do that. We have a lot of great talent coming up, and I think it's time to give them a chance. Now we have Darren Sammy as our main coach for all formats. I think it's time that you let him take charge of the youths and let's see what they can do. Let's see what their hunger could produce. It's time to give them a chance in this team. Coming off from the test and coming off from the ODI series, what were your expectations though coming into this T20 series?
Well, obviously, we have a new captain there, Liton Dash, and Mehdi Binaj was not captain, and he didn't even play in the first game, and he played the second and third game as a batter, and that was a better thing to have. And our batting, the batting did well. Somo did well until he injured his hand,
Right.
and there was Liton struggling with his form. Shanto did not even come, but in the lower order, we have seen Zakir Ali, the glimpse of Zakir Ali, and the upcoming rising star for Bangladesh in every format. So it's a positive thing for Bangladesh.
What you could tell me about Shamin was saying he was decent too in that first game, put in a decent knock before he was caught on bowler. But McCoy, he did good in that first game, that first match.
Yes, Shamim Hossain is a finisher. His specialty is finisher and hitting sixes. And sometimes he is criticized for only playing the one shot on the leg side, just having this
Right.
big swing. And sometimes he's criticized for being not so fit and bit chubby kind of person. But that's the kind of person he is. But sometimes that kind of body really helps and to generate that swing. And he have showed. I think we should have some faith on him, and he can change the game because West Indies players can change the game, and they can hit sixes any given time. Any
Correct.
ball they can hit for six. We have seen Moti, we have seen Akil Hussain also. The bowlers also hitting sixes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Bangladesh doesn't have such six hitters. So we have to
Ah.
invest on Shamim Hussain, and he will produce some goods.
Yeah. He sounds like a Andre Russell, those kind of guys that will get you those sixes when you need them, a Karen Pollard. Yeah. I understand what you mean. So that was match one. So you all went up 1-0. Of course, you would have been very happy with that score. What were you expecting when you saw that? So 1-0, did you think West Indies could have come back, or were you confident that Bangladesh could have done the rest, could have seen out the series? Or at least not whitewash, but at least won the second game?
Well, it has been the history for Bangladesh that Bangladesh always wins one game and loses another game and then wins the third game.
Right.
So we were expecting a losing match and Bangladesh were struggling, but suddenly we have finished well and suddenly we have some total to defend.
Yeah, and that particular game, of course, 129 for 7, low scoring. They would have anyone would have thought, all right, cool. That is a doable, that is an easy run chase. It shouldn't be too difficult. But once again, your bowlers did a remarkable job of stopping West Indies in their tracks. All right. So what's your attribute to that? Because the bowling was really good this series. What was the big difference in the T20 compared to the ODI? What was the big difference?
Well, we played as a team, as a bowling unit, and I said in my Bangla videos in my personal profile that it's like a buffet. It's like a buffet. Like Taskin Ahmed coming in to bowl the first over, then Mehdi Hassan, not Miraj, Sheikh Mehdi Hassan, the
Mehdi,
opener.
yes, yes.
Yes, he picked up 8 wickets in this series. And the most crazy thing is he was bowling and Nicholas Puran was struggling because he
Right.
was turning so much.
So
And
much. Yeah.
he bowled his 4 overs up front. Then came Tanjim Sakib, who played for Guyana in the Global Super League.
Yeah,
And then came Hassan Mahmood, who has got great skills to bowl at the depth. And then most of the times when 5 or 6 wickets are down, then comes Rishad Hossain, the leg spinner, the lethal weapon in our armory.
very little. But you have to highlight the bowling in this match, right? First of all, stopping us in our tracks in the 18.3 overs, and then there were a few maidens, and maidens in a T20 is very impressive. No matter the team that you're facing, right? Mahmoud, as you mentioned, got a maiden. He went for 1 for 23. Then you had Mahidi Hassan, 2 for 20. He had a maiden as well, and then you also had Tanzim Hakib Hassan Sakib, sorry, 2 for 22 and a maiden in T20, right? You have to give kudos to that. That is brilliant clinical bowling there, right? And of course, we have to mention Taskin Ahmed. He also 3 for 16. So great figures by all your bowlers. Even the guys that didn't get wickets, right? Miraz would have only bowled 1 over, but 8 runs, no wickets. So I think the bowling in this particular game, that second match, was very clinical, and the batting was just poor. And for some reason, as you mentioned, Puran, for some reason, spin. You put a good spin on Puran, and that's it. Puran will not know what to do. It's very difficult. The pick of the batting hack was just again was Ruston Chase, and this time Akilo Sign. That was it. Nothing from our big hitters, Justin Charles, Fletcher, Duck, right? Azari, Gudakesh Moti, sometimes he puts in a good knock with the bat, nothing. So, again, kudos to your bowling. Your bowling was very clinical, very, very clinical.
So I want to know about your captain. Are you happy with the captain? And would you like to change the captain? Do you have any other captain in your mind?
Any suggestions? Any other? Well, for now, I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy with Rockman, but I don't know. I think how to say this tactfully. For me, Rothman has shown that he can handle it, he can do it. But I don't, for me right now, I can't think of any other candidates right now that I'm confident in because you have to lead by example. And Rothman tries, he tries. I think the only other shout right now, a wild shout maybe is Brandon King, maybe, but his form is with the batter is not matching what you want from a captain. He's not in the best of form right now. I think Rothman could get the best out of the players. And now that I know we'll discuss that. Now that we have our permanent head coach in now and officially named, I think he could pair well with Rothman Powell and guide him to what we need. But Rothman Powell needs to work on his decision making, needs to work on his field placements, and needs to work on how when to bring in the right bowling attack, how to use his bowling attack. I think that is something that is lacking, especially in the shorter format. Because in T20, you have to act fast. You have to get wickets early on, as you know. The earlier the wickets, the better. So for now, I'll give him some leeway. I'm not too quick to dismiss him or say, oh, let's get rid of him, because right now, I can't think of anyone else that I feel confident in. And I can't think of anyone else right at this given moment. But for the future, definitely for the future, I will look at someone like Justin Graves for the future because he can lead by example with the bat. He can bowl as well. So I think he might be someone for the future that could probably in the next 3 years, once he stays still with us and keeps injury free, I can see him as a future captain. What about your senior players? Though? Are you pleased with your senior players for this series? A lot of them stepped up and really because this was a great result. I know obviously you would have liked to have done more in the tests and the ODIs, but it's to end off the series like this with a whitewash away from home. Are you pleased with your with your senior players? What some of these senior guys that you are very proud of or pleased with?
Well, in this team, we have the new captain, Liton Dash, experienced player, but he got out very cheaply. But as a captain, as a wicket keeper, he did something like Dhoni and control the team, changing the fields and keeping faith on the bowling attack, kept the team in one, as a one team, as a one unit.
Yeah.
and that's what he did. And experienced batter like Miraj, he sacrificed his bowling because he wasn't bowling well, but we somehow managed to find both of them in the same side, Mehdi Hassan and Mehdi Hassan Miraj, and that's what he played as a batter because right now his form as a batter is better right now. And the other player, I think Taskin Ahmed, led the bowling side really well because whenever I got up, I tried to open the stream for the West Indian batting. Until I opened the stream, I always see the first wicket is already down
Right.
before I open the stream. So that's the fun part. That's kind
Yes.
of quick he is. And yep, and that's the experienced player. And most of the players are not playing in this match because we don't see Mahmudullah Riyal, we don't see Mushfiqur Rahim, we don't see Shakib Al Hassan,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
don't see Mustafizur Rahman, we don't see regular captain Shanto. So it's kind of a young team from Bangladesh.
Yeah, and it goes to show again what that same thing I was saying. If you have a hungry young team that's willing to put in the work, so great job. Because look at that, a few key players out and still able to whitewash the West Indies at the teeth, especially when most of these guys just fresh from CPL. You know, they just had a great CPL tournament. Most of the players on that team. So yeah,
Okay, so do you know that Bangladesh coach is from the West Indies? Phil
yes, of
Simon.
course, of
What do you
course,
think
of
about
course.
him?
Of course. No, of course. I mean, Big Phil um, would have met him. He's the coach for TKR. So, yeah, he's no stranger, of course, to the West Indies and to T20 cricket. He has been playing his trade through all these variant franchises. And, yeah, great kudos to him. Great job. And he he had Bangladesh knocking, bowling very, very well this tournament. And I think we're seeing a trend where a few, sorry, of the foreign teams, especially teams from that side of the world, are recruiting West Indian players, especially former bowlers, as coaching staff. So it seems to be working out very well for these teams. So yeah, and Phil Simmons is no stranger, and of course a great coach, great strategist, and so I'm not surprised that it worked out well for him in this series here.
Okay, so yep, West Indies lost the series. Tough luck, but I think next thing coming up is the Champions Trophy, and West Indies is not part of Champions Trophy. Why is that?
Well, didn't do enough to make it, and we because if you look at our we have fallen far, heck, we are rock bottom right now in the test series in the test series standings, and now not part of the ICC Champions Trophy. And of course, it's something that we would have won. The one that comes to mind is that historic comeback against England, right, with Bradshaw, Courtney Brown. But yeah, we are just we didn't have enough to qualify for it this time around because of the results of the I think the previous World Cup, because they look at that I think as a contention for qualifying, and because of our poor standing we were not able to qualify. So it's something to work on. We have to start getting back up the rankings in all formats. So for now, out of the Champions Trophy.
So it was great talking to you, and I'll just let you go. And we will talk very soon.
Yes,
And for
man.
all the viewers, I have to tell them that you know Hakimel now, but look at this man, Jarrod. He was having faith in me for a long, long time and helping me out with all the podcast stuff and everything. And that's the great support I have from the Caribbean. You and I have to mention Kapil.
Yes, yes,
Kapil
yes.
was also coming
Of
into our
course.
show. Great
Nice. Yeah,
man.
man. Yes,
All
man.
the brothers
Kapil.
I have in West Indies and looking to meet you, all of you, very soon.
Yes. Well, the minute you land, you're safe. You are safe and sound as soon as you reach. Of course, guys, if you want, you can check out our videos. We had some videos in the past that I've done with Hack. So I'm very proud of Hack now. He started his channel. That's the key to anybody out there that wants to start their channel. Just start. Just start. Forget the equipment, forget the special, this and that. Just start and everything else will follow. Right? So I'm very proud of you, Hack, man. Well done. And keep it going. And look forward to coming on many more.